Today, I am taking you courtside to the Professional Pickleball Association Skechers Invitational Summer Championships. Demonstrators have gathered. They've erected a tent right outside Ted Lieu's office doors in hopes that he will make a statement about veterans' homelessness issues. It's a new year, a new you, and maybe the new you is a rock star. To help bring out your inner star, School of Rock has programs for all ages to help bring your dreams to reality. Nearly 3 years ago, to the month, the very first tents started popping up here along San Vicente Boulevard, thus creating Veterans Row, an unhoused veterans encampment that was located just outside the gates of the VA. I'm Juliet Lemar here in Brentwood, where we are seeing 2 new buildings being unveiled to provide housing to the unhoused veterans who used to call San Vicente Boulevard home. What do we have in the box? What's the weirdest donut you got?
A glazed crawny.
What do you love about donuts?
Well, just being a chubby guy, every day is National Donut Day.
Why limit it to one day? Let's celebrate all year long.
Everybody was screaming about, hey, we don't get good tacos. So
now they're going to be screaming, we have the best tacos. On March 26th, over 1.5 million Los Angeles residents who received CalFresh saw a decrease in their benefits. I'm Juliet Lemar. Today we're in Santa Monica speaking with local food banks and CalFresh recipients who are bracing for a hunger cliff.
Food insecurity can affect more than just your belly. And according to the Department of Social Services, over 1.5 million Los Angeles residents rely on monthly benefits from CalFresh. Residents like Saida Hernandez, a student at Santa Monica College, attributes her family's ability to overcome homelessness to the help they received from this governmental food assistance program.
I started using CalFresh since I was a little girl. At that time, we were homeless. CalFresh did help me to make sure that I'm still going to school.
In addition to pursuing a degree, Saida also has a job. And now with the decrease in benefits, she's faced with the possibility of putting her education on hold to support her family.
With the decrease on the CalFresh and the increase of goods such as milk, I would probably not be a part-time student anymore. I want to continue to be a student, to be the first of my family, the first generation, to actually succeed in going to college and getting a degree.
Food banks say that 1 in 5 LA families struggles with food insecurity, and Genevieve Riatort of Westside Food Bank is bracing her facility for a hunger cliff.
Families could be losing close to $300 a month in resources, and individuals are losing about $80 a month.
Losing crucial nutritional support can also put a strain on other basic need areas, such as housing.
Families are having to make really hard choices. So we feel like if we can provide the food, then that helps families to use their limited resources to stay housed.
And food banks need your help in meeting the spike in demand.
It's really important to support local food banks and food programs right now because that's how we feed people in their immediate need. But it's also important to advocate for the kinds of policies that hopefully won't leave as many people behind.
To donate, you can find your local food bank at lafoodbank.org. There is a new rising star on the forefront of fashion and inclusion. 18-year-old Tammy Eugenio Ferreira. Last year, Tammy became the first ever runway model with cerebral palsy to grace the stage at LA Fashion Week. Fashion is a tough industry, but Tammy isn't letting anything stand in her way, and she's here to tell you herself.
I have a passion for fashion. By the way, I have cerebral palsy. So what?
Tammy's irresistible charm and spicy attitude caught the eye of streetwear designer Nicholas Mayfield, and since her debut in his 2021 runway show, they have become close friends.
What was the most exciting part of walking in his show last year?
Everything.
Everything?
I'm happy to be here. Smiling for you.
Tammy and Mayfield returned to LA Fashion Week this year with vibrant energy and a new custom outfit designed by Nicholas Mayfield and inspired by Tammy herself.
You are rocking this look.
I want to do all eyes on me, so I put all eyes on her.
What's your favorite part about it? Yeah, that he does it?
I love the hat.
It's so good. Oh, and the jacket? Oh, that's so cool. I can tell you're a fashionista.
I am.
It's clear that Mayfield and Tammy share a love of fashion and a wonderful friendship that goes beyond the designs.
Yo, it's just God moves, so here we are.
Success did not come easy. Tammy has had to work hard to get where she is today, defying doctors' diagnosis that she would never walk, talk, or sit. Tammy has spent countless hours in therapy and continues to break barriers with her ceaseless determination and dedication to her goals. She is currently pursuing her dreams in fashion, getting a higher education, and even learning to drive. And this is just the beginning of Tammy's journey.
I cannot wait to see you out there on the runway again.
Thank you. I'm coming back.
Andre Butler marks the second veteran this year to be killed at the homeless encampment of veterans along San Vicente Boulevard, which is located just outside the gates of the VA. Today, we talk with Rob Reynolds, who is with AM Vets, about what is needed right now to help get our men and women of service off the streets.
Andre Butler was a Marine veteran. He's kind of a fixture around the West LA VA for years. I think he was only here for a few days before this whole incident happened. And I'm going to miss Andre a lot. Andre's death marks the second out here this year. When veterans arrive here to get services, the issue is there's a consistent lack of same-day services. And what I mean by that is, if someone were to show up today and they were asking for help, the first thing we would have to do is we'd have to send them over to building 402. A lot of people that show up here, a lot of the veterans that show up here are injured. They're in wheelchairs, walkers, or they have mental health issues, PTSD. The VA is not providing any transportation. This campus is huge. And we keep asking the VA to at least send a shuttle over or something.
The West LA VA campus spans 388 acres in total. For reference, Disneyland is only 100 acres. Veterans seeking services and housing must walk from the Eisenhower Gate to Building 402, which is a 2-mile round trip. It took me around 40 minutes to walk there and back.
Then they have to go to Building 500 and get a COVID test. Then they have to wait for the results to come back in. And the admissions for the inside encampment normally closes between 2:30 and 3 p.m. So a lot of times they never make it within that first day. They're asked to leave the property and come back the following day, and they're not registered in a program. By the time night falls, the VA police are going to tell them to leave, and that's when they come out to the sidewalk. And then we have to go through this whole thing of getting them in again. If you don't have consistent same-day services, if you're not taking them in when they're asking for help, this is what happens. I mean, one of the things we asked a year ago was for the VA to put up some signs. I mean, just signs inside to direct these guys where to go. There's like a lot of simple fixes that can be done just to, at least cut the encampment in half.
When we reached out to the VA for comment, they provided this written statement, which outlines the steps a veteran must take in order to receive services, such as taking a COVID test, undergoing a whole health exam, and verifying their veteran status. If a veteran tests positive for COVID-19, the VA is providing a place to safely isolate.
This has been a soldier's home for 133 years. There's been veterans from every conflict since the Civil War that have come here. They will always come here. And that's why it's important that we get this fixed. It's time for action. No one wants these guys on the sidewalk. What goes on here is not the same at every other VA. It's very specific to this location. There's been a lot of promises to build housing that have never come to fruition at all. Years and years of promises and promises and promises, and nothing's happened.
Sophia was a very bright and vivacious child. She loved to learn and she loved to swim.
At the age of 2, Sophia was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma. And during these countless days and nights at the hospital, Sandra got to know the nurses.
Sophia's nurses were talking about this triathlon and how all the money they raised was going to pediatric cancer research at Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
Over the course of 2 years, Sophia received 6 rounds of chemotherapy, tumor recession, high-dose chemotherapy, a stem cell transplant, 20 days of radiation, and 6 cycles of immunotherapy.
These are Sophia's beads of courage. Each bead represents her experience. The black ones are pokes, the yellow ones are chemo, red ones are blood transfusions, and then these right here were her favorite, and they're pretty cool. They glow in the dark, and those were beads that she got from radiation.
After years of treatment, Sophia was declared to have no evidence of disease, and her mother decided to participate in the triathlon.
a year later, I did my first triathlon, and I did the sprint, and Sophia ran across the finish line with me. A few days later, she was diagnosed with relapse neuroblastoma, and just a few months later, she passed away.
According to the Children's Research Fund, less than 4% of federal funding goes towards childhood cancer research.
Pediatric cancer research is really underfunded. Without events like this, the funding really wouldn't be there to be able to help families have a higher chance of survival. Doing a triathlon's hard, but doing chemo is also hard. And that's what I keep in mind the whole time I do it, is if Sophia could do what she did, I can do this.
Sophia's buddies have participated in over 8 Malibu marathons, raising over $500,000 to directly support pediatric cancer research.